heart. You recorded an album here, didn't you? Do you think Britain has played a big part in R.E.M's success?
Yeah, I mean, the audience has always been there for us, always been very supportive, and we love coming here. I love London.
Good, and it's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, Michael's going to be telling us about R.E.M's new album. They have 15th album to date later in the show.
It's incredible. Now then, last year Dom Littlewood investigated a law firm accusing people of unlawful file sharing on the internet, things like music and films.
And 8 months later, Dom's been back to find out how the company had its knuckles rapped in court. Now, this week marks 50 years since the death of one of the Britain's most influential conductors, Sir Thomas Beecham.
Yeah, and what an extraordinary man he was, so much so that we asked our very own musical maestro, Cary Grant, to find out what Sir Thomas did to make the nation fall in love with classical music.
For me, classical music...
You try to not listen to the noise that can sometimes enter and tell you, well, if you did this, it would be a pop hit. If you did this, it would be admired by more people.
Yeah.
You try to just do what you do.
And how does it feel when you look back to your earlier albums as well, then, in relation to that point?
I don't really listen to them unless I'm working on new material, and then I'll go back, and it's equally humiliating and triumphant.
Right. Interesting, yeah.
But this time, every track on the album is also accompanied by a short film that you can download.
That's right.
So what's the difference, would you say, then, to a short film and a pop video? Because in essence, that's what you're doing, isn't it? There's something to go with every song.
Well, music video and music video on television really had a day, and people still make music videos. Lady Gaga, who I love, Kanye West, who I love, Beyonce, who I really love.
We all do, Michael.
And that's great for them, but for R.E.M. we started doing something that was closer to an art film. And so what I did with this record, I wanted to kind of take a 21st century approach to what an album can be rather than a single or a pop single. And I went out to artists who I admired and asked them if they would collaborate and lend their voice to an interpretation of our music.
And as well as people collaborating, you've also got some of these short films. And Sam Taylor-Wood has directed one of them with a British actor, there they are, Aaron Johnson in it, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a look at that.
From the laughing there with it, so how do you think your music fits there within that film?
I went to each director, Sam in particular. We had been talking about possibly collaborating on something with the band since last summer, and I didn't know that she would ask Aaron to do something like this, but she said, I think I have an idea and I really want to try it. I mean, what they managed to do is kind of combine elements of John Travolta's Walk in Saturday Night Fever with Singing in the Rain, a classic film from the 1940s, I think.
Filmed in East London, Michael.
It was.
Yeah. Even though it's called You Berlin.
Well, the song is about someone who is in the city of Berlin.
Right.
Desperately trying to connect to something, anyone, anything, and not doing a great job.
It looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, talking of the song and your voice in particular, I mean, it's incredibly recognisable. But you didn't actually realise this up until a couple of years ago.
No, I didn't. I used to, when you call up a company and you get a representative and you're ordering things over the telephone, people would recognize my voice without knowing. I mean, they would say, "Are you Michael?" And I would say, "Yeah." How did you know? I didn't know that my voice was unique until probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And
was there a moment when you suddenly realised that?
Yeah, some friends sat me down and were like, "Your voice is really unique."
Yeah, okay.
I was like, okay. I didn't know where to go from that, but I was confounded by why R.E.M. is a band that's not covered more often, why other pop singers don't really tackle R.E.M. songs, and I realized that maybe that's not as easy as it seems to me.
You found the answer.
Yeah.
It is a cracking album, it really is, and Collapse Into Now is out now. Okay, we are going to be doing something very, very funny for money.
Don't build it up too much.
Race funny for comic relief. Well, I'm not going to be here, so...
No. One show viewers will be dressing up as their favourite Spice Girl and performing a mass rendition of Wannabe.
Yeah, so if you want to take part and spice up your life, say you'll be there by emailing us at theoneshow@bbc.co.uk.
I didn't know you were such a fan.
Viva forever.
Viva forever!
Who do you think you are?
Some kind of for a reminder of how important your donations are, I went to Zambia to find out how an entire family can be helped out of poverty by...
Now then, it's time for part 4 of our series of films in which our wildlife experts, Miranda and Mike, try to communicate with animals.
Well, get their attention at least.
Yeah.
Tonight, Mike waves at a nightjar.
It has some...
You thought that maybe for your next assignment you could wave that at a bull.
Well, thank you very much. I'm fairly well known for talking bull, so that's...
We weren't going to say...
No, we weren't, Mike. Now, I tell you what, we've been thoroughly entertained by your antics over the last week, but some experts, I mean, they really go to the edge, don't they, when they're trying to communicate?
I'm going to show you 3 Dr. Doolittles who've taken working with animals to the utmost extreme. There we go, a lovely classic one-shot graphic, starting with our first clip is Sean Ellis, who's well known as the Wolfman. Now, he spent most of his adult life studying wolves, but here, he's actually for the last 18 months, spent 18 months working, living with a pack. And make no mistake here, the wolves actually think he is one of the members. He started off when he joined the pack as the alpha male, and he's been relegated down because, of course, there's a wolf hierarchy, down to the omega. He's the pacifier of the group.
Have you ever seen that guy, Michael, before?
I don't think we've met.
He's well known in the States, actually. I'm not messing with Central Park. Our second Dr. Doolittle is another interesting character. This is Gordon Buchanan, who's been up in Minnesota filming black bears. And he's with this chap called Lynn Rogers, who spent 44 years studying bears. And make no mistake, this is an animal
look at the little cub.
that can kill humans. But he's taught the tricks of the trade so well that Gordon is able to spend time next to this little tiny cub. Because generally the golden rule of thumb is never ever get between a mother bear and the cub, because she'll get angry and fractious. So he's done amazingly well and got unprecedented footage. And the final one we have is Dr. Tanya Streeter, who is a world freediving champion.
Wow.
She's able to go underwater for 6 minutes without breathing and go to a depth of 160 meters. And normally when you swim with dolphins, you spend 20, 30 seconds with them, they'll get bored of you, they'll swim off. But with this amazing mono fin and her gentle movements mimicking the dolphins, they're absolutely fascinated. And they've been spending time swimming with her and getting the most astonishing footage. So they blow me and Miranda away. I'm feeling fairly inadequate actually now.
Absolutely mesmerising.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Mike, thanks ever so much.
Thank you very much.
Sorted tomorrow. Now then, in her series of films, The History of Hygiene, Ruth Goodman has already got whiffy with the Romans and discovered that even though medieval folk have a reputation for being smelly, they did their utmost, of course, to be clean.
In tonight's instalment, she gets down and dirty with the Tudors, who worried about washing in water.
The spice is the perfect way of getting rid of blue face paint.
Yeah.
There you are.
There you are.
I look great.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You do. Okay, well that's it for tonight. Thanks very much,
Thank you,
Michael.
Karen.
Thank you for coming in. It's been lovely to meet you. And all the best with the new album, of course, Collapse Into Now, which is out now.
No.
And tomorrow night, Chris and Alex will be joined by Roger Daltrey. So from all of us here,
Can't wait for that. We'll see you on Monday.
see you Monday.
Yeah, okay.
I'll
have
see
a
you
great
Monday.
evening.
Yeah, you see it's Friday. Bye.
Bye.